Armadillo. Armadillo, armadillo, armadillo.
See the werewolf?
Hey, boys!
Look at the werewolf. It's insane. These people have a werewolf in front of their house.
Oh, come and look at the fish. Oh, come and look at the fish.
The Abbey of the Lemur.
The Abbey of the Lemur, brought to you by Pink Bismuth. Insert your stupid slogan here.
Hey, Chief. How's it going? Glad to meet you, Chief.
And by the way, we will never be as cool as Dick Dale.
What the hell's that?
Oh, I think I just hit something. Oh, I hit the menu accidentally. Don't worry about it. Good morning or good afternoon,
Or something.
fine citizens of Fayetteville.
Yeah, hits of the 70s.
You are at the Abbey of the Lemur, and this is C.F. Roberts. Yes, and I'm Heather Drain, and we are here today.
That's tonight when they're watching it,
Right.
so technically it's tonight, no matter what we're doing.
But what are we doing here tonight, CF?
We are looking at we're just YouTubing hits of the 70s.
Yes,
And
it's a magical, sparkly journey
yeah, with unicorns,
with unicorns and lots of paisley prints and
greasy anuses.
yeah. Okay. Well, to get things started, we are going to start off with what is probably, I would venture to say, one of the dreckiest songs of the 70s, if not, nay, the entire history of humankind.
That's pretty horrifying.
And Mr. Roberts has ranted about this before, so we'll keep this short, but I, of course, am talking about Starbucks. Say it, Chuck.
Moonlight feels right. Everybody feel the torture of this one.
Yes.
Is there...
Oh, yeah.
Feel the pain. It's got like that sleek, kind of well-produced California sound, Although I think these guys were East Coast, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's some reference to Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
So. But, yeah. This is music to date rape girls in your van, too. That's it.
But it's like, the synthesizer being, an instrument with all these possibilities, and here's, the ultimate musical vein that killed all those possibilities.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got this kind of groove to it that's, so Caucasian it'll make your teeth bleed.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just listen to it for a few minutes, will you?
Mm-hmm.
I snort coke off a dead hooker's body. It's like this was some idiot's version of a seductive vocal. It just makes me vomit.
Yeah, it kind of makes the Manhattan Transfer sound, edgy.
Yeah. I mean, I can't emphasize to you that this is the kind of catalyst that made punk necessary. And
this is the kind of catalyst that makes, spaying and neutering humans necessary.
yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shit, I don't know.
I'll listen to that xylophone solo. Yeah, spinning around, babies.
Now, there have been times in rock when xylophones have been a good idea. Frank Zappa would be able to come up with about 100 points of that, and he's a great musician and everything. This was just a bad fucking idea. I mean,
wait, let's get the...
Yeah, playing my wimpy air synth.
Well, your wimpy air synth still rocks more than the real thing.
Yeah. And this was somebody's lame idea of funky too.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like some guy wearing a flammable shirt taking the slowest dump ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It has Yeah, I'll take you to a trip to my condo
No.
and drug your sister.
You know, these guys probably wore like leisure suits, and they had like wide lapel shirts and that were half open, chains, and earth shoes, and they probably all had these nightmares like porno mustaches or whatever.
And that's an insult to porn.
Yeah.
This song is an insult to bad porn.
Well, all I can say, God damn it, is, I mean, cocaine's a hell of a drug, and cocaine must be the thing that makes something like this seem like a good idea. Just say no, folks.
Just say no. Yes, yeah. Just say no to Starbuck Kids unless it's the Battlestar Galactica kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Shannon Kane, and I'd like to talk about Constitutional Amendment Number 3, which recently appeared on the 2004 Arkansas ballot. As you're doubtless aware, this amendment was seeking to ban gay marriage. Now that the election is over, I have a few brief statements. First of all, I cannot believe that this appalling piece of legislative garbage actually passed. For the state to dictate whom its citizens are allowed to marry is inherently wrong. It's obscene that we live in a political climate in which a certain percentage of the citizenry is routinely denied the right to a legal marriage just because their partner happens to be of the same sex. This is wrong, and you know it's wrong. All the voters have accomplished in passing this vulgar piece of legislation is to make Arkansas look like some sort of backward third world outpost. It casts us all once again as hopelessly dim-witted hillbillies. This is a black eye not only to the state, but to the very concept of liberty itself. I blame the tragic mixing of church and state for this gross miscarriage of justice. This amendment should never even made it onto the ballot in the first place. The church has pushed this, not the average rank-and-file voter. Once again, the state has no business whatsoever telling people how to conduct their private affairs. The moment a priest, pastor, rabbi, or any other religious leader tells me how to vote is the moment when I get up and walk away. But the majority of Arkansas voters apparently didn't possess that level of fortitude. Like so many squawking parrots, they just did whatever their pastors ordered them to. And now look what we've got. A repressive quasi-theocratic regime in which one sector of the population openly enforces its unsolicited right-wing views and lifestyles upon an unwilling minority. I'll concede one point. The electorate has spoken. But that doesn't stop me from publicly pointing out that some of the electorate is apparently composed of a tribe of witless baboons with the collective intelligence of a sweat sock. Congratulations, Arkansas. We let a bunch of boot-scooting, cousin-loving rednecks legislate our morality. And where was the voice of reason during this public display of insanity? They were doing what civilized people do, quietly voicing their opposition and then getting on with their lives. Well, you can see where that got us. The conservatives have been playing dirty pool for years. Maybe it's time we got up in their faces and shoved some of their own tactics right back at them. Notice how it's only the voice of the most ignorant, right-wing hate-mongers that seems to get heard these days. Decent, liberty-loving people have been marginalized once again, crouching in the shadows while conservatives and their self-appointed talking heads spew their vile, poisonous verbal sewage to the four winds. Continue to remain silent, and you can look for other goodies in your political stocking, from the renewal of repressive sodomy laws to the repeal of Roe v. Wade. continue to remain silent, and we'll have a terrifying mix of church and state that'll make Afghanistan look like a Boy Scout jamboree. The good news is that thousands of people actually did vote against passing Amendment 3. The bad news is that a lot more people voted for it, doubtless goaded on by scare tactics hurled at them by loud-mouthed, homophobic backwoods preachers. And in a case of truly strange bedfellows, the Roman Catholic Church joined with the fundamentalists in urging its communicants to forbid the most basic of rights, the right to marry, to grown adults. Why do certain corridors of organized religion so often bray about their own right to religious freedom, but then insist upon denying the most basic of human rights to their fellow citizens? There were other ballot initiatives set before the voters, but who cares about those? They were only about piddling issues like taxes and term limits. And while we spent our time working ourselves into a frenzy about who's marrying whom, we elected a chimpanzee for president, stuffed Washington, D.C. full of Republicans, and made our state look like a bastion of raving idiocy. Moreover, we proved once again that we're not capable of handling the concept of third-party politics, and that we tend to vote a straight mainstream party line, regardless of what kind of ogres might currently be hiding behind the Democratic and Republican labels. What's next for the state of Arkansas? The marriage police? Homosexual hunting season? Hanging lesbians from lampposts? Seriously, where does this cultural retardation end? I could go on at length about this issue, but I won't. I've taken my stand and will reserve further commentary for other forums. In closing, the state has committed a glaring moral atrocity by passing this ban on gay marriage. As we settle into the reality of actually living with this shameful legislation, perhaps the utter injustice of what we've done will impart us with a keen enough sense of regret to make us consider repealing all future forms of legalized discrimination. Thank you.
Welcome. Our next hit of the 70s is Reminiscing by the Little River Band. Wow. Boy, it's like a Shriners meeting gone bad, isn't it? Somebody save that cat, though. Oh my god. You know, this is one of those songs that it's like, it's pretty schlocky, but I've always kind of liked on a level that I think it'd be great in a horror movie. Like there's certain, you imagine like some creepy like kidnapper playing this to his victim. See, really effective. Am I right?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's right up there with Singing in the Rain on Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. Isn't this like someone's dad like trying to seduce you? Look at this. Look at this. Like, see, totally somebody's dad trying to seduce you. Yeah. So, Debbie tells me you like cheerleading.
That's the way it began. We were hand in hand. Glenn Miller's band was better than before.
Yeah, how old are these guys?
Yeah, they miss Glenn Miller.
Yeah, Glenn Miller was, you know.
Yeah, they're reminiscing about something they never experienced themselves.
I remember when lynchings were in public, and public hangings were all the rage. Oh wait, no. Yeah. God, this is.
And these guys really can't be hung out to dry from that because they're from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Is it New Zealand?
I think they're Australian.
Aussies, alright.
Close enough. They're not Kiwis, but.
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus.
I bet they had a rather rough time getting a hold of the meat kiwi, though.
Oh God! Can you imagine the groupies for the Little River Band? Those would be some scary ass women. I'm just saying. Yeah, I love how enthused the band is about the music video process.
This guy's like.
Oi!
This guy's like studiously examining a record.
I guess maybe the director's thing is like the reminiscing, so we're gonna put them in like some crazy old lady's house. Yeah, seriously, like.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you know, they're thinking, hey, couldn't we have gotten the music videos with the sexy ladies? No, we get crazy old lady's basement. Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, man, I feel kind of dirty. This does just seem like somebody's dad hitting on me or something. Yeah, like.
And the fashions would seem to agree with that. Just
yeah, you know, Susie's mom and I have been having difficulties lately. Come on, it's the 70s, baby. Ah, Jesus, God, I'm sorry. The dude in the glasses is scaring me a little bit.
Yeah.
He looks like a female tennis player with a beard. I think that's why.
Portrait of a guy who's not getting any tonight.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I wonder how much poontang being in the Little River Band will net you. Probably not a lot. Hey, I was in the Little River Band. Who? Never mind.
Oh yeah, my mom and dad used to listen to them.
Oh God. Yeah, actually, my mom. I know if my mom heard me snarking right now, she'd be like, "I like that song. I love you, Mom. This is better than Toto."
Yeah.
That should be the Little River Band's logo. Little River Band. We're better than Toto.
Yeah. Or maybe put a caveat on that. At least we're better than Toto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
The Little River Band.
What a boring.
They can't play pool.
Man, they're not old, but they are, you know, but they're about as interesting as old men. Like that. Oh, they're playing dice now.
Man, I'd rather hang out with a bunch of old men.
I'd rather hang out with that cat. That cat rocks.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ những video hấp dẫn.
Yay, the pyramids are all gone. Mommy, the vicar's penis is turgid.
You know what I hate? How come in this country, anytime like people are like, oh, let's give food to those who are in need, the poor, the poor, the hungry, people are just having a really bad time in life. What do we give them? We give them canned peas. If someone gave you canned peas, how would you feel about it? You probably wouldn't feel that great.
Jark Maharkus.
So anything like Bon Jarkus? So tell me, Chuck. Have you ever been mellow?
Not on your life.
Have you even tried? Have you ever been mellow?
I'll be mellow when I'm dead.
Bullshit.
I know what you're up to, man.
fromage.
Yeah, you. Talking to you too. You out there? I know what you're up to, man.
If you want to look at the face of pure, unadulterated evil, then I got 3 words for you. The Manhattan Transfer.
The face of evil? Why, you're soaking in it.
You're not just soaking in that. God, this is like bad outtakes of Anguish or something. A wig! I'm gonna barbecue a wig! Rock and roll!
Lemur.
Lemur. We follow the dreamer through the purple hazy clouds. You can control our sense of time. Oh, come and look at the fish. Oh yeah. We're cute, we're cuddly, we're more than millions. Come and look at the fish. Come and look at the fish. Let me ask you something, bud. Have you ever heard of a shrimp ring? Can I interest you in a shrimp ring? Life of catastrophe. Come and look at the fish. Come and look at the fish. We get the tilapia and the lemon sauce. Come and look at the fish.
Yeah, let me introduce you to a little friend of mine here. I'd like you all to meet my friend Gomer. And Gomer is a blowfish, or nah, he's actually a puffer fish. He said blow. Anyway, and we found that actually back around the time me, Shannon, and her husband Randall used to kind of frequent the beaches down around the Gulf of Mexico, and they had lots of these little doodads. Basically, I guess they blew the guts out of these aquatic animals and shellacked them so that they just kind of sat there animated. And they took their eyes and replaced them with these kind of plastic googly eyes that run around in circles. That is really kind of fucking grotesque, don't you think? And when you patronize these gift shops that had all these, I mean, it wasn't just these little baubles, these little tiny puffer fish they had. They had bigger ones. They had like parrotfish or triggerfish that had been done kind of in the same way and that kind of thing. And how would you like it if someone just kind of, in an industrial manner, kind of blew all your insides out and left you nothing but a skin, and then just kind of shellacked your skin and made a life-size knick-knack out of you, stuck these big plastic Google eyes in your eye holes that kind of rolled around, and then you'd just be immortalized as this kind of shellacked shell of a person dangling somewhere with these big goofy eyes that were never yours in the first place. How would you like that? Do you think that'd be interesting? Think that'd be a fitting way to go out? I just kind of thought, because we were always kind of perusing these gift shops and looking at these grotesque things, I always kind of figured it'd be probably almost like poetic justice if at the end of our lives, maybe the camera would pan the mantelpiece, somebody's mantelpiece, and you'd see the 3 of our heads just kind of sitting there on the mantelpiece, glazed over like big donuts with big plastic googly eyes kind of rolling around in them, and the music would inevitably cue up. fitting note to end one's life on, don't you think? Yeah. How about that? Anyway, here I am just trying to make your lives better and, you know, give you something to chew on. Say goodnight, Gomer.
Good night, Gomer.
Rock. Lame-ass, weak, non-threatening suburban white boy junk played by bands like Men Without Testicles. Testicles. Reach over here and fondle my balls. Balls, reach over here. Balls, reach over here. Balls, reach over here. Reach over here. Reach over here and fondle my balls. Reach over here. Balls. Reach over here. Balls. Reach over here. Reach over here and fondle my balls. Meandering zombie noise. Busy in the basement, jacking off his dog. Busy in the basement, jacking off his dog. Pointless meandering zombie noise. Lunatic. Busy in the basement, jacking off his dog. Lunatic. Pointless meandering zombie noise. Lunatic. Pointless meandering zombie noise. Pointless meandering zombie noise. Fuck these new age techno dicks. Whatever happened to music with testicles? Fondle my testicles. Fondle my balls. Testicles. Balls. Testicles. Balls. Music with testicles.